Welcome to Hustle and Flow with Heather Hubbard. You're listening to a special Fearless Leader bonus episode.
Hi, I'm Heather Hubbard, and I was a litigator, partner, and practice group leader at an Am Law 200 firm. I know what it takes to rise to the top. I also know all too well the toll it can take on your personal life. So how do you shine bright without burning out? How do you embrace your ambition without selling your soul? You're listening to the Hustle and Flow podcast.
Welcome back. I am your host, Heather Hubbard, and we are back today with another Fearless Leader bonus episode. And today's Fearless Leader is Erika Royal. She is a partner at Holland and Knight. She has won all kinds of awards. She is in Best Lawyers, Super Lawyer. She got her degree from Harvard Law School. She was an LCLD fellow, a rising star at Holland and Knight. She has been in Leadership Broward Foundations and Women Leading Broward, all the things. Erika, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Heather. I'm so happy to be here.
We should also add you are the mother of three.
Yes, the mother of three. I have 2 teens and a tween.
I love seeing everything they're doing. I love to see your girls dance. Your kids have so much personality, and I think sometimes I live vicariously through them. They're awesome.
Thank you so much. I think we made them very well.
Yeah. So let's share with everyone kind of how we first met, because I'm wondering if we have the same memory of this. I think we've talked a little bit about it, and we might not. But how do you remember first meeting me?
So since we kind of touched on this a little while ago when we were talking, I did go back in my emails.
Oh.
And I realized that I first became acquainted with you back in January of 2015 when I don't know where, I saw something that you were doing, your Goals Reimagined course. I feel like I saw it on Facebook, but it could have been somewhere else. I just remember that I saw it and I sent it to 2 of my friends and said that we should do this. I did. And that is when I first met you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So here's the crazy thing. I just wrote an email, which is going to come out well before this podcast episode comes out, talking about how when I got started, I just threw up a landing page and just started putting stuff out there and did a free 45-minute class, and then did my very first telecourse, Goals Reimagined. And you were there. We've been together since the very beginning of this company.
That is so awesome. And I didn't even realize it, because I will tell you that back then in 2015, if you had asked me, I would have had no idea that this was not something that had been well rehearsed, well practiced, and fine tuned. To me, it was very seamless. So congratulations to you.
Thanks. You then attended my very first Life, Law, and Balance retreat at Miraval in November of 2016. Yes, you all the firsts.
Yes, I did. I was there in Miraval with you. It was a week after the election in 2016, and it was also my wedding anniversary, November 15th. And I was there with you for all of that. Me and you together, Heather.
I remember this. And, and here's what else I remember is that you weren't sure about it, right? You were like, I think I need to go, but I'm not sure. And you were investing in yourself and asking the firm to invest in you. I don't even think you would have that kind of trepidation these days, right? You've done so much thought work.
So I think that where my trepidation lied back then was that what you were proposing, Life and Law and Balance, was so unlike anything else that I had done. And at that point in time, I had been with my firm for about 18 years. I had gone to, all the classes on branding and marketing and business development and personal development. I had taken multiple personality tests. I had done strength finders. I had learned how to fascinate. I had done Myers-Briggs. I had done all of these things. And still, what you were proposing, this idea that a retreat for lawyers would be at a place like Miraval, and that it would have this component of mindfulness, was just so unlike anything else that I had done before that I was a little hesitant to invest in myself in that way and to ask my firm to do it. And yes, to your question, looking back on that, I'm so incredibly glad that I did, because it was very life-changing for me. It was a very life-changing experience.
Anytime I try to describe Miraval, I can't put it into words, but I always say that program is life-changing.
It really and truly is. And I will tell you that as somebody who, as you mentioned, I had been through LCLD and I had been through a number of programs like that. And part of what I do in my community work at home is facilitating a program called Women Leading Broward, which is about women's professional and personal development and things like that, and kind of getting women to recognize their strengths and then use them to promote themselves and to reach their goals and things like that. And so I had done all of that. And yet still, when I went to Miraval, it was the first time that I saw how mindfulness actually tied into all of that, and realized that awareness piece that we were learning through meditation and through some of the other things that we did at Miraval, that awareness piece was just really everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really did change my perspective on so many things.
And so what do you think about the fact that this is how we're kicking off the 2020 experience? Like in January, we're all going to be there together for the retreat. And then we're not stopping there. Like we're going to work together for an entire year.
So I think that's amazing, because one of the things that happened for me with going to Miraval when I did was that I went there, it was very transformative, and then when it was over, I didn't quite know what to do. And so one of the things that was fairly consistent for me in terms of professional growth was that when we were at Miraval, we spent time not doing just mindfulness type activities, but we also sat down and did the work of figuring out goals and things like that, and making plans and all of that. Those were things that I had done before, right? I had made business plans before. I had worked with business coaches and made business plans before. And what Miraval kind of did for me was, yes, it let me sit down with a group of women lawyers and really brainstorm and talk about my plans and my goals and get input from them about what they thought. But it also made me aware of the fact that even though I'd done this in the past, I didn't follow through with it. And so I left Miraval with this new piece, not just, I'm going to go do all these things now. I have this plan now. I left with this piece in the back of my mind wondering, why don't I ever follow through with this? Why don't I get these things done? What is holding me back? And that's what led me to continue on and do additional, thought work and mindset work about recognizing the thoughts that are holding you back. So I think that for women who are experiencing Miraval for the first time, to have that transformation so early in the year and then have an additional 11 months to work through all those issues and to grow and to learn about themselves and to pursue their goals is going to be so amazing.
That is amazing. And I cannot wait. Because I want to go more down this thought work path, but let's take a step back. Because the 2020 experience really is a culmination of a lot of things that have been put together in a way that we've not done before. But after the retreat, I then came into Holland tonight, and we ran a diversity mastermind that you participated in. It wasn't quite a year, and it was like a different format, right? It was for the firm. Share your experience on that.
So after Miraval was done, I went back to my firm. I could not stop raving about you. And I had read on your website that you were conducting these diversity masterminds. And at my firm, I'm the chair of the Black Affinity Group. And so the idea of doing a mastermind that would identify high potential diverse partners or senior associates who could then participate in a very small group format where they would get individual coaching, but also have each other to become, as you put it on your website, their own little board of directors, to me was very intriguing. And so I reached out to you, and we formulated a plan that I was then able to present to the diversity partner at my firm, who was very interested, very supportive. And we were able to bring the diversity mastermind to the firm. And I thought it was a huge success. And I got feedback from the other participants who also found it to be a huge success, because much like we did at Miraval, but in a different way, because I feel like at Miraval, there was a lot of personal growth, a lot of personal realizations. And I feel like professionally, we did a similar thing with the Diversity Mastermind. We were able to have 2 in-person meetings, and then we would do the monthly hot seats, and we would hold each other accountable, which was extremely helpful. But also we had the benefit of having this small group of people who were all invested in each other's success, who were keeping up with each other's careers. So we were able to refer work to each other across the firm. And we were also able to meet once a month and say, what have you done on your goals? Offer suggestions, offer, constructive criticism, and offer connections within the firm, all of which I thought was extremely helpful. And I'm still in touch with all of those people now.
I always find it remarkable that oftentimes when I get, because really large firms, you may not know people, but I always love getting people together where they show up and learn things about each other that they never would have known otherwise, right? Like we're always so buttoned up.
And these are people that I would have seen ordinarily, once a year or once every other year at a large firm meeting, and maybe spent a few minutes with. And to take such a deep dive with all of them and really get to know them, and then be able to use that knowledge now, even though our mastermind is over, to still check in with them and also, think of them for work opportunities, I think has been a great lasting effect of the mastermind program that we did.
Yes. All right. So you did Goals Reimagined, you did Miraval, you did the retreat. We then did this mastermind, and then you went and you did thought work coaching. And one of the reasons why I reached out and asked, would you come be one of the fearless leaders for the 2020 experience, is because I just saw so much commitment to growth from you, both personally and professionally. And I saw how you changed, like right before my eyes, you changed. And I think, we've talked a little bit about this before, but you really are a role model and a mentor to so many people because you've been in a law firm for so long, right? A really large law firm, and you have kids, you have teenage kids, and you are a partner and you are killing it. And you're still committed to being the best version of yourself, being happy and growing. And I just love all the things. So I totally respect everything you're doing. Kudos to you. And I'm so excited that you said yes to coming on and being a fearless leader for the 2020 experience.
Well, now that we've kind of gone through our history and how we've been together from the beginning, it seems rather inevitable that I would say yes. But yes, of course, I was so excited to be able to participate in this program. And to your point, I think that one of the things that attracted me to Miraval in November of 2016 was just this feeling that I had done all the things, right? I had all of these accomplishments and achievements, and I had all of these brass rings. And in addition to that, I was married. I had 3 children. I had a wonderful family. And I just felt that I was always so anxious. I was so worried, like I had imposter syndrome, that people were going to find out that I wasn't actually good at all of it or any of it. And so I started to want to figure out why that was. I had all these things and I couldn't feel happy. And thought work is what really helped me with that, was realizing that I had these, absurd perfectionist standards that I was imposing on myself all the time. And also that I just had these thoughts that I thought were real. I had my brain in the background telling me all the time, that's not good enough. You have to try harder. And so I was constantly striving for this goal that I was never going to reach because it's not real. But I thought this is how you're supposed to do things. And I thought that everything in my life was supposed to be riddled with anxiety because that's how I was. And once I realized that none of that was true, that I could still have those things, I could still have my job and have my family and have my sanity and just not think all the time that I wasn't good enough, I could be so much happier. And so that's the change that you saw, that I finally realized that I didn't have to keep getting things and accumulating accolades and, wait for my children to get into Ivy League colleges so that I could finally feel happy. I could feel happy right now. And I think that's the change that you're talking about.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So the 2020 experience, kind of like a mastermind within a mastermind. So you're going to be leading a pod of women in some hot seats and in some other things at Miraval and part of what we're doing. So I'm asking all of the fearless leaders this. Obviously, we'll be curating and, making assignments later on, but who are you hoping that you get to work with? Like, who are your dream pod members?
So my dream pod members would be high achieving or highly ambitious women who have all of these goals and things that they want to do, but who are kind of white knuckling their way through their careers, right? These women who from the outside look super successful, super accomplished, but that you would never guess have like a voice inside of them telling them that nothing they do is good enough because they're such perfectionists. And so since nothing is ever perfect, they have a lot of anxiety. They have a lot of imposter syndrome, and which leads them, of course, to more white knuckling because they think that is essential to success. So they just keep, going and going and going. But deep down, they also understand that life is not sustainable. So they worry that they're going to burn out. Right. And so I want to help women like that avoid burnout, right? Like that's a given, avoid burnout. But then beyond that, I want them to understand that they can have all of that success and still be happy and that they can be happy right now. They don't have to wait. They don't have to just make partner, just make equity partner, just do this thing. You can be happy right now. And so that's who I would love to work with, women who are doing all those things that they thought were going to fulfill them and not feeling fulfilled because they won't let themselves.
Yes. Okay. So this is right. The 2020 experience is about intense hustle and intense flow. So people are coming in. And so if you were listening to this and you've been kind of on the fence, I want you to know you were coming in to go for a big goal, not because that's what's going to make you happy, but because you want to go for it deep down. But this is why I love the people like Erika that we've brought in, because that the thing that's going to get in your way, it's all right. Like it's fear. It's the perfectionism. It's the I'm not good enough. And this is why we are surrounding you with the most amazing people to help you reach those goals, but to do it in a sustainable way and to understand that the joy is in the journey.
And also to understand that once you realize that feeling that happiness, feeling that satisfaction is available to you right now, it's so empowering because you don't give away the power of your feelings to someone else or to outside circumstances. You take ownership of your own feelings and realize that you can create those things for yourself right now, which I have found to be so freeing and so amazing.
I love you, Erika. You are amazing. I have so enjoyed growing with you. And I can't wait to have you on board as a fearless leader. That's all I have. Is there anything I've not mentioned that you want to add before we go?
No, not at all. I'm excited to be on this journey with you too. I'm more excited now that I know I've been there from the beginning. And I can't wait for this next chapter for us.
All right. Thank you, Erika. And guys, I'll see you on the next podcast.
Thank you, Heather.
For show notes, downloads, and other free resources, and to keep the conversation going, head on over to hustleandflowpodcast.com. See you there.